الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماءه العابدون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون الذي لا يدركه بعد الهمم ولا يناله غوص الفطن الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود ولا وقت معدود ولا أجل ممدود وترى الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته ووتد بالصخور ميادان أرضه والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين وأفضل الخلق أجمعين الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم المحمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتجبين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الأولين والآخرين آمين يا رب العالمين. فقد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إن الحسين مصباح الهدى والسفينة النجاة. صدق رسول الله الكريم صلوات محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran in Surah An-Nisa, the 4th chapter, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَلَا تَتَبَدَّلُوا, do not exchange, do not change, وَلَا تَتَبَدَّلُوا الْخَبِيثَ بِالطَّيِّبِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not exchange worthless things for good things. If you have something which is good value, yani tayyib, do not change it for something which is khabith, which has no value. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that if you have something of good importance, something which is of value, something which is of benefit, do not give it away for something which is khabith, something which is of no value, something which will only bring about destruction, something which will only bring about the ridiculing of yourself, your people, your community, or anything of that sort, or even your faith or religion. What does that mean? Allow me to explain. For example, you have amal salih and you have amalun ghayr salih. You have good deeds and you have bad deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not give up those good deeds for the sake of a few bad deeds. Do not give up something which you have worked hard for. If you have worked hard to build iman, if you have worked hard to change yourself around, build your personality, focus on your deen, on your religion, you didn't pray, now you started praying. You didn't fast, now you started fasting. You didn't research into the religion, and now you started researching. You didn't have any sort of knowledge about the religion of Islam. You made the effort, and you started becoming more aware and gaining knowledge of the religion of Islam. Do not give that up for something which is cheap, something which is worthless. What does that mean? If you have spent all that time gaining good deeds which are of value, do not be tempted or fooled easily by the temptations of shaitan. For shaitan will give temptations. الَّذِي يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ. Shaitan is one who will do waswasa. Shaitan is one who will whisper into the hearts of mankind. Shaitan will say, well, why should you wake up in the morning for Salatul Fajr? The whole world is sleeping. It is comfortable to be in bed, especially in the cold nights of the winter times. The bed is comfortable. The bed is warm. No one wants to get up. It's difficult to get up for Salatul Fajr. However, this is the waswas of shaitan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not give away this valuable Salah of Fajr, this valuable time. of Tulu' al-Shams, the rising of the sun, when you can communicate with Allah, you can make dua and munajat and salat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something which is worthless, for 5 minutes of sleeping.
MashaAllah.
Just 5 minutes. It doesn't take longer than 5 minutes to pray. Salatul Fajr is 2 rak'ah, you can pray in 2 minutes. And tasbih is another minute or 2 minutes. Done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not give away the amalun salih, the good amal, for the bad amal. Another example of that is, do not give away good things for bad things. For example, do not give away good friends for bad friends. In other words, choose your friends wisely. Choose your company, your social group, whether it be in school, in college, university, at work. Choose your friends wisely. Choose friends that will take you close to the deen. Choose friends that will take you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Choose friends that when it's time for salah, they remind you it's time for salah. Choose friends that they tell you this is haram, let's not go there. Choose friends that will remind you that this is forbidden in the sharia. Not friends that will say, oh it's okay, let's go today, it's only one day. Like the kuffar of Quraysh. When they accepted Islam, they said to the Holy Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, we accept Islam except on the day of Friday. Yawm al-Jum'ah, allow us to pray to our but, our idols. One day only we ask, one day in the week, Ya Rasulullah, give us permission that we bow down to our idols and we indulge in the drinking of wine and alcohol. Holy Prophet said, absolutely not. Not under any circumstances will I allow that. Deen, Iman, is not something which is part-time.
MashaAllah.
That you only take it when life is easy for you, or when something is going our way. The Deen is something that doesn't revolve, that shouldn't revolve around our life. Our life should go around the Deen of Allah. We should make time for the Deen. We should make time when it's time for Salah. We should make time for the majalis of Aba Abdullah Hussain. We should make time for the Azadari of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Our life is busy. Living in the Western countries, it is a busy schedule. But when we have a timetable, we have a schedule, we can manage things. And becoming religious doesn't mean that you sit on the prayer mat all day and all night. You've done what you've had to do, few minutes, done, khalas. Then you go back into your normal life. You work, you study, university, education, anything you do. Doesn't mean on the whole time on the prayer mat, dua, 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 namaz, 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 no. Once you have done, hukuk Allah, there are hukuk al-ibad, hukuk al-nas. Then you go and meet the people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Jum'ah, when it's time for Jum'ah, إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمْعَةِ وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَةِ. Give up your bay'ah, give up your business and run towards Salatul Jum'ah. But when Salatul Jum'ah is done, when the Salah of Jum'ah is finished, go back to business. Go back to work. Go back to your daily lives, to the earning of rizq of halal. In the same way, we should try to make friends that will remind us of Allah, that remind us that Imam al-Zaman is watching.
MashaAllah.
Friends that remind us that Imam al-Zaman is watching. Like Allah is watching, our Imam is watching over us. The hadith says that every Shab Jum'ah, every Laylatul Jum'ah, the Friday night, our a'mal, our deeds are presented in front of Imam al-Zaman. Either Imam al-Zaman is pleased with our deeds, with the Shia, or sometimes the riwayat say Imam al-Zaman sees the deeds and he cries. Imam al-Zaman is silent, the heart of Imam al-Zaman is broken. That my Shia did this, or my Shia did this. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hazir or nazir, is watching, is present. Imam al-Zaman is watching and is present. Angels descend on Imam al-Zaman. تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالْرُوحُ. The angels descend upon Imam al-Zaman. our deeds are presented to them. So it should be a duty of us that we please Imam al-Zaman. The ulama, the scholars say, if you can, some ulama every single day they give sadaqah for Imam al-Zaman. Sadaqah separately for Imam al-Zaman. One sadaqah for the family, one sadaqah for Imam al-Zaman. Give sadaqah for Imam al-Zaman. Make dua for Imam al-Zaman. Do not forget Imam al-Zaman. Every single day, when we wake up in the morning, try to make it a habit. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Salih. Assalamu alayka ya Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman. Assalamu alayka ya Imam al-Mahdi. Every day in the morning, give salam to Imam al-Zaman. If we can say salam to other people, why can we not say salam to Imam al-Zaman who is alive and present? It only takes 1 second. It is only a matter of making a habit. Sometimes we all forget. We're all human beings. I'm not having a go at anyone, but as much as we can. If it means to write on your wall, write on your wall. Assalamu alayk ya Aba Salih. Assalamu alayk ya Ahl Bayt al-Nabuwah. That we make that a habit. In the morning, we begin our morning with salat wa salam ala Ahl Bayt al-Nabuwah, ala Imam al-Zaman. And this is a form of blessing, a barakah for our day. That when we continue our day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses our day. And wajib, raddu salam wajib. The returning of the jawab of salam is wajib. Imam al-Zaman will definitely say wa alayka salam. Imam al-Zaman can never not reply. Imam al-Zaman is too merciful. Even a sinful person like me, a bad person like me, if I say assalamu alayka ya Aba Salih, Imam al-Zaman is too kind. He will reply wa alayka salam. Imam al-Zaman is not someone who holds grudges. Imam al-Zaman is an Imam of mercy, an Imam of compassion, that no matter how much I sin, Imam al-Zaman will accept the tawbah. Did Abdullah al-Hussain not accept the tawbah of Hur? Hur was the one who made Zainab cry. Hur was the one who grabbed the Zuljanah and turned it towards Karbala. That Imam Hussain became angry at Hur. But on the day of Ashura, Hur came running to Aba Abdullah and dropped in his feet. Sayyidi Mawlai Aba Abdullah, Halli min Tawbah. Is there tawbah for me? I make tawbah. Abu Abdullah al-Hussain hugs him. Abu Abdullah al-Hussain accepts. Imams are too kind. We shouldn't judge our Imams like if I am not kind, I shouldn't think that Imam is the same. Imam is too kind. Sometimes we get into arguments and fights and we disagree with someone. We never want to see them again. We backbite them. We talk bad about them. We say, don't come to my house. Don't come here for dinner. We sin every day. We make Imam al-Zaman cry, but still Imam al-Zaman makes dua for us. Imam al-Zaman is not like me and you. Imam al-Zaman has a heart full of love, mercy and compassion. Imam al-Zaman is one who wants you to come to him so that he accepts you, so that he shows you the right way. وَلَا تَتَبَدَّلُوا الْخَبِيثَ بِالطَّيِّبِ. Do not give away the tayyib, the good things, and accept khabith. Do not give away bad friends. The hadith says you are recognized by a company of your friends. The people you sit with, the people you stand with, the people you socialize with, the people you go out with, the people you are seen with. You are judged by them. When you sit with a company of people, you become like those people. When you sit with mu'mineen, you become like mu'mineen. When you sit with munafiqeen, you become like munafiqeen. When you sit with people of good habits, you take the good habits. In the same way, when you sit with people of bad habits, one day you will end up taking some of those bad habits. So it is said that choose your friends carefully. In the same way, choose your leaders carefully. Have leaders that have shu'ur. Have leaders that give guidance. Have leaders that give the right message. Not have bad leaders. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. We do not change the state of a nation unless they change what is in themselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I will not change what's in you unless you make an effort, unless you do something about it. Imam Zaman will not say wa alayka salam unless I get up in the morning and say assalamu alayka ya Imam Zaman. Unless I make that effort first. We must bring change in ourselves. It is said, many people have said that people want others to change. But it is said, be the change you want to see. In other words, you change yourself first, then others will change. In other words, not that everyone else should change and I remain as I am. Not that I preach to everyone else and I don't know what is inside myself. In the same way, do not choose bad leaders. Choose leaders that will be of value to the country, that will be of value for the society, whether it be a president, a prime minister, whether it be a community leader, whether it be the leader of a jama'at, or leader of a mosque, or a leader of anything, a group of friends. You go traveling with a caravan, a qafila. Choose leaders that have shu'ur. Choose leaders that have basira, that have foresight. Imam Baqir salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi. Imam Baqir alayhi salam says a mu'min has 4 eyes. What does it mean that a mu'min has 4 eyes? It means 2 eyes are physical eyes with which he sees, and 2 eyes are the eyes of basira, the eyes of foresight. In other words, hidden intellect, hidden fitrah, the instinct. Don't just see in front of you that I'm going to do this. See, if I do this, what are the consequences of my action? If I do this, will it have benefit for the community? If I do this, or will it be a damage to the community? It is said, the mu'min has 4 eyes, that he thinks before he acts. Not just that he does it blindly. I'm going to do it, I do not care of the consequences. Imam says he does something, but first he analyzes. In the same way, Amir al-Mu'mineen in Nahj al-Balagha says, before you say something, before you utter something, think. Is my saying this going to cause any conflict, any fitna? Any problems? Is it going to break someone's heart? Is it going to hurt someone? If this is the case, it is haram on you to say that, especially if it leads to conflict between al-mu'mineen. But if me saying something is causing love and unity and bringing together the mu'mineen, it is wajib on you to say that.
MashaAllah.
If only we would think, Nahj al-Balagha, think before you speak. In fact, Imam Sallallahu Alaihi had a beautiful hadith where he says, I wish that humans had a long neck like that of a camel. So that before the words reach the mouth, you have enough time to think before it is uttered. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Imam says, I wish humans had necks like camels. That before they say something, the words travel from the bottom of the neck until the tongue. And in that time it takes for it to travel from the bottom of the neck into the tongue, the insan, the human being who is to utter the words, had enough time to think before I say this. Will it cause any benefit or will it be for harm? Allah is subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, do not give away the tayyib, the good, for the khabith. Have leaders that are good. Vote for leaders that are good, not for leaders that are disqualified. Vote for leaders that will bring change to a country. It is then said, in the same way, when you select a leader, your leader should be the one who is the most afdal of his time, who is the best of his time in all of his criteria, not someone who needs guidance. The leader should be misbahul huda, who guides, not someone who needs guidance from him. He should be afzal, not mafzul. Mafzul is lower. Afzal min ahl zamanihi, one who is the greatest of all of his zaman, of all of his time. Ahlul Bayt were the greatest of their times. Ahlul Bayt were afdal of their times. But the mafzul, the lower, the ones who were of lower caliber, of lower status, took charge with force. It is said that when the mafzul comes into power, he does not know himself how to handle the situation. So he has to refer to the afzal. If that is the case, then such a person is not ma'soom. And if he is not ma'soom, he cannot lead a community. Because he himself needs guidance from the ma'soom. And in that case, he is not qualified to rule. The ma'soom is to rule. Because the ma'soom does not need guidance. The ma'soom is the light of guidance that gives guidance, and his guidance never finishes. Ahlul Bayt were people that not only did they guide us, in fact, our imams were of such status and caliber that the imams of Ahlul Sunnah studied under our imams. Either directly or indirectly. They would come to the door of Ja'far al-Sadiq. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. Ya Rasulullah. Ya Ali. Allahumma salli ala Abu Hanifa says, if I had not spent 2 years studying from Ja'far al-Sadiq, I would have perished. لولا سنتان لهلك نعمان. His name was Nu'man. Nu'man, Abu Hanifa says, if I did not spend 2 years under this fountain of knowledge, which was Imam Sadiq, under this ocean of knowledge, wallah, I would have perished, I would have finished. 2 years he spent. 2 years he spent learning. He said everything I learned was from the 2 years. But then after 2 years, he changed his beliefs and he changed his aqidah, and Imam Sadiq told him to leave. But even he admits that if I had not spent the 2 years under Imam Sadiq, there would have been no fiqh Hanafi. There would have not been any leg for me to stand on. In the same way, Amir al-Mu'mineen 25 years was sat at home. There was a financial, social, political boycott on Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen. After the demise, after the martyrdom of Rasulullah, Amir al-Mu'mineen sat at home and compiled the Quran, did tafsir and ta'wil of Quran. But khulafa of that time would refer back to Ali. Whenever a serious decision was to be made, whenever a religious question was brought towards these khulafa, they would say, bring Ali ibn Abi Talib. Bring Ali, for we are stuck. We do not know what to say. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen would return, and he would answer them only and only for the sake of saving the religion of Islam. For the sake of Rasulullah, and the sunnah of Rasulullah stays alive. And for this reason, you find in one of the famous narrations, once a case was brought in front of the second Khalifa, 2 mothers and 1 child. A dispute arose, does the child belong to her or her? 2 mothers, both claimed motherhood. He said, I can't make the decision. I don't know who's right. Both of them are crying. Both of them are saying, he's mine. She's saying, he's mine. They said, bring Ali ibn Abi Talib. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen is brought. After analyzing the situation, the case, he calls his servant Qambar. He says, Qambar, bring me my sword. Qambar brings the sword. They say, Ya Ali, what will you do with the sword? He said, I will slice the child in half, so she can have half and she can have half. At this moment, the mother, who was the real mother, says, Ya Ali, please do not kill him. If she wants him, let her have him. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, you are the true mother. For if she was the true mother, she would have done anything to see him alive. She would have given him up just to see him alive. For this reason, Rasulullah would say, Inna aqzakum Ali. the best qazi, the best judge amongst you is Ali ibn Abi Talib. لولا علي لهلك عمر. That if it wasn't for Ali, he says, I would have perished, like Abu Hanifa says. Imams of Ahlul Bayt came for the rescue for the sake of Islam. Imams of Ahlul Bayt came for the rescue so that the sunnah of Rasulullah doesn't die. So that the religion continues. Sallu ala Muhammad. Amir al-Mu'mineen is that afdal. And anyone who comes in challenge and competition to him is mafdul, is of lower value. Amir al-Mu'mineen is that tayyib. And anyone who comes against him is that khabis, is that impure thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, do not give up the good for the bad. If Allah has given you good friends, do not give up good friends for the sake of bad friends. Do not give up iman for the sake of the waswasa of shaitan. Do not give up all of your hard work and all of your ibadat and munajat for the sake of some sins, small sins. Keep them. In the same way, do not give up Ahlul Bayt, who are the greatest of their times, to accept those who are the lowest of their times. It is said, when the dispute arose in the time of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, Amir al-Mu'mineen said, after the killing of the third caliph, when the dispute arose, Amir al-Mu'mineen writes a letter. He writes a letter explaining his position. And he sends the letter where? To Sham, to Damascus, Banu Umayyah, the headquarters of Banu Umayyah. He writes the letter because he had received a letter from Sham. The letter from Sham said, I am this and I am this and I am that. And I deserve khilafah. I deserve the government. Oh Ali, you don't deserve the government. I am Katib al-Wahi, I am the writer of Wahi. I am Khalu al-Mu'mineen, I am the uncle of Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen replies, he says, you bring your merits in front of mine, you bring your fadila in front of my fadila. Do you not know that I am the brother of Rasulullah? Do you not know that Hamza, Sayyid al-Shuhada, who was killed in Uhud, is my uncle? Do you not know that Fatima, the daughter of the Holy Prophet, is my wife? And do you not know that the two sons of Fatima are my sons? You bring this against me? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Allahu Akbar. Ya Rasulullah.
Amir al-Mu'mineen replies, explaining his situation, explaining his merits, his fada'il, his fadila, that he is the greatest of his time. He says, swear by God, are these merits, this fada'il that I have told you, do they not belong to me, Ali, or do they belong to someone else, or do they belong to you? He says, you are the son of the lady who ripped open the chest of Hamza and ate the liver in a fit of rage and anger. You are the son of such a lady who ate the liver of the uncle of Rasulullah. I am the son of Fatima bint al-Asad. I am the son of Abu Talib. I am the one who was raised by the Holy Prophet, Rasulullah. I was raised by Rasulullah. You were raised by Abu Sufyan. What fadila do you have over me? What merit do you have over me? When Abu Talib was facing hardship, was facing financial and economic hardship, the Holy Prophet said to Abu Talib, Ya Abu Talib, give me Ali, I shall raise Ali. And so Rasulullah raised Imam Ali alayhi salam. In the same way, Abdullah, the uncle of the Holy Prophet, raised the brother Imam Ali Ja'far al-Tayyar. These people were raised in the house of Nabuwa. They grew up learning the Sunnah. Who knows the Sunnah better than them? Who grew up in the house of the Holy Prophet, or those who barely spent a few years with the Holy Prophet? Imam explains him that I am the one who is capable of this government, of this khilafah. I am the one who can run the system, who can run the government. Imam explains them that only the greater, whether it be in his hasab and nasab, whether it be in his aqa'id, whether it be in his iman, can take that government, can take rule over the Muslims. A Muslim needs someone who does not need guidance from others. A Muslim needs someone, the Ummah needs someone who is Misbahul Huda, who gives guidance non-stop. It is said that one day the companions were arguing. The Sahaba after the Holy Prophet were discussing, they were arguing, there was a conflict, there was ikhtilaf between the Sahaba. Regarding what? Ikhtilaf was on who is the greatest, who is the most afzal in the eyes of Rasulullah. It is said when they couldn't reach the conclusion, one of them decided to go to another Sahabi who had spent a lot of time with the Holy Prophet. Who? Huzaifa al-Yamani. They go to Huzaifa al-Yamani, they say, oh Huzaifa, we amongst the companions are disagreeing. Who is the greatest? Who is this tayyib? Huzaifa says, if you want me to tell you, then I will tell you something I have seen with my own eyes and I've heard with my own ears. He says, oh Fulan, one day I was in the streets of Medina. I see the Holy Prophet exits from his door, from his house in the street of Medina. He says, I was looking and seeing the Holy Prophet just like you see me, and I could hear the Holy Prophet just like you could hear me. In other words, the Ravi was siqah. The hadith is authentic. He said, I saw it and I heard it. He says, as the Holy Prophet came closer and closer to me, I saw that there was a young boy sitting on the shoulder of the Holy Prophet. As he came closer, I saw that this was the young boy who was Hussaini. He was sitting on the shoulders of the Holy Prophet. His feet were on the chest of Rasulullah. Rasulullah was holding his feet tightly and squeezing it against his chest. He comes in front of the majma of Sahaba. He comes in front of the Muslims. And he says, oh Muslims, if after me you ever disagree upon the greatest person in my eyes, then know that Hussein, this child you see on my shoulders, is the greatest. How? He is the greatest in regards to his grandfather and his grandmother. No one has a grandfather like Hussein. No one has a grandmother like Hussein. Why, Ya Rasulullah? His grandfather, the Holy Prophet continues, his grandfather is me, Nabi Allah. And his grandmother is Khadija, the first woman who believed in my message. He said, when no one believed in me, Khadija believed in me. It was only Khadija and Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. Then he continues. He says, Hussein is the greatest. How? Hussein is the greatest in regards to his mother and his father. His father is my brother, my wali, my Khalifa Ali ibn Abi Talib. And his mother is my daughter. His mother is Sayyidatun Nisa'i al-Alameen. His mother is Sayyidatun Nisa'i Ahlil Jannah, the queen of the ladies of paradise, Fatima al-Zahra salamullahi alayha. And then he continues, he says, oh my companions, Ya Ashabi, Hussein is not just great in these two respects. Hussein is the greatest in respect to his uncle and respect to his auntie. Why? Because his auntie is Hani, the daughter of Abu Talib, sister of Imam Ali. And his uncle is Ja'far al-Tayyar. Ja'far, the one who Allah gave 2 wings to fly with the malaika in the heavens. Ja'far the warrior, Ja'far the shaheed, that Allah gave him wings to fly with the malaika in the heavens. And then he says, Ya ashabi, your companions, Hussain, his grandfather, his grandmother fil Jannah are in paradise. His mother and father fil Jannah. Ali ibn Abi Talib and Fatima al-Zahra are in Jannah. His uncle, his auntie Ja'far al-Tayyar and Hani are in Jannah. And he is the greatest in terms of his hasab and nasab. And you recite in Ziyaratul Nahiyah. What do you read in Ziyaratul Nahiyah about Aba Abdullah al-Hussain? That Aba Abdullah al-Hussain was Sharifun Nas. That the lineage of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain was a noble lineage. The nasab of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, the hasab of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain was a pure and noble lineage, unlike any other lineage. The greatest in respect to his mother and father, in respect to his grandfather and grandmother, in respect to his uncle and auntie. Allah says, do not take the khabith when you have the tayyib. When you have Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, why did Muslims go towards Yazid, who was a khabith? Shajaratu mal'una, shajaratu khabisa. When you have Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, it's shajaratu tayyiba. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Indeed, in my ummah, the Holy Prophet says, I leave behind Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib as a guide, that if you stick with him, and if you do tamassuk with him, Ali ibn Abi Talib is that hablullah al-mateen, Ali ibn Abi Talib is that rope of Allah, that takes you straight to Allah. The most direct pathway to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ali ibn Abi Talib, hablullah al-mateen. Ali ibn Abi Talib was sirat al-mustaqim. Ali ibn Abi Talib was sabilillah, was the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Holy Prophet always point to Imam Ali and say, Hada sirat al-mustaqim. Hada sirat al-mustaqim. Brothers and sisters, this family, Banu Hashim, were those who were the greatest of their times. The children of Fatima. But on the other hand, you had Abu Sufyan wa Ali Abu Sufyan, who Imam in Ziyarat Ashura curses them. In Ziyarat Ashura. On La'nun Abu Sufyan wa Ali Abu Sufyan, wa Ali Marwan, wa Ali Ziyad. Jarir al-Tabari, a Sunni writer, writes in his book. Sunni writer. He writes that one day, the Holy Prophet was sitting and he sees a camel going in front of him. He sees that the camel is being ridden by Abu Sufyan. And in front of the camel is someone who's pulling the camel. He sees it's Abu Sufyan's son Muawiyah. And then he sees behind the camel is someone pushing the camel. He sees is Abu Sufyan's grandson Yazid. Do you know what Rasulullah then says? Rasulullah remembers what they would do to his son Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. Rasulullah says, La'nallah upon the rider, La'nallah upon the puller, and La'nallah upon the pusher. The messenger of Allah cursed the rider, the puller, and the pusher. For these people were always enemies of Islam. Abu Sufyan was an enemy of Islam who wanted to kill the Holy Prophet. Muawiyah was enemy of Amir al-Mu'mineen, who is responsible for the killing of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Yazid, enemy of Muawiyah, even killed Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Yazid, responsible for the killing of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, Awlad al-Hussain wa Ashab al-Hussain. Rasulullah warned them that guidance only lies with Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. Do not take the hadith when you have tayyib. Quran says, Surah An-Nisa, verse 2. Do not give away your good. If you have a tayyib like Aba Abdullah, do not give it away and take a khabith like Yazid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving hukm and order to the mu'mineen, the Holy Quran. It is said on the day of Qiyamah, last 2 minutes, brothers and sisters, and I end inshallah. On the day of Qiyamah, it is said, when Allah will gather the mahshar, Allah will gather all the people, it will be said to them, غُضُوا أَبْصَارَكُمْ, lower your gaze, for Fatima is coming. Allahu Akbar. It will be said to them, lower your gaze, for the daughter of the Prophet Fatima is to cross from here. Fatima will cross. Do you know what is the first thing Fatima will do? Fatima will cross the mahshar, and she would be mukhatib with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She will speak to Allah and say, Ya Allah. And she will take out something inside a robe, inside a piece of cloth. She will open the cloth and she will say, Ya Allah, look at this. And she will raise it. Do you know what it would be? It would be 2 cut arms. 2 cut and bleeding arms. Fatima would say, Ya Allah, judge between me and those who cut the arms of my son Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Brothers and sisters, I have a special attachment with Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Tonight again I would like to remember Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. For no matter how much masaib you recite of Abbas, we can never make justice to the masaib of Abbas. Fatima on the day of Qiyamah would say, Ya Allah, punish those who cut the hands of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Then Fatima will take out a bloody shirt, a shirt covered in blood. She will say, this is the shirt of my son Hussein. Oh Allah, punish those who killed my son Hussein. Oh Allah, bring them in front of me, those who killed my son Hussein. Allah will make judgment first with the killers of Hussein. Today we say, Ya Imam al-Zaman, Ya Nasarat al-Hussein. Oh Imam al-Zaman, return back so you could avenge the killers of Hussein. It is said, brothers and sisters, a reciter, someone who recited the Masa'ib of Abbas, once saw a dream. He saw a dream. He saw in the dream a lady saying to the Zakir, the reciter, saying, oh reciter, you recite the Masa'ib of Abbas, my son Abbas, but wallah, you haven't recited the Musibah of Abbas. He says in the dream, I have recited the cutting of the right hand, I recited the cutting of the left hand, I recited Abbas was struck with a metal pole, I recited that Harmala shot the arrow in the eye of Abbas. She says, no, this is not the Musibah of Abu al-Fazil. Do you know what is the Musibah of Abu al-Fazil? The Musibah of Abu al-Fazil is this, that whenever someone would fall from the horse, they would use their hands to protect their face. But why? When Abbas came from the horse, he did not have any arms. Abbas hit the ground on his face. Abbas came on the ground on his face. This is the true Musibah of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Ajakum Allah. Brothers and sisters, last two lines. Cry today for Abbas. Ashura is finished. 2 more days. Who knows if we are alive next year? Who knows if we come here next year? Brothers and sisters, when the news reached Medina that Caravan Zainabi has returned, Ummul Baneen came running out. Ummul Baneen said to them, what is the news of Karbala? They said to Ummul Baneen, Ya Ummul Baneen, your first son was killed for the sake of Hussain. She says, no, tell me about my son. She says, Ya Ummul Baneen, your second son was killed on the day of Ashura. Ummul Baneen says, no, tell me about my son. I say, Ya Ummul Baneen, may Allah reward you. Your third son was a shaheed in the day of Ashura. She says, no, tell me about my son. They say, Ummul Baneen, may Allah reward you with paradise. Abbas did not have any arms on the day of Ashura. Then she says, no, tell me about Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. What happened to Aba Abdullah? They say Aba Abdullah's body did not have a head. The body of Aba Abdullah lay 3 days on the plains of Karbala. The body of Aba Abdullah did not have a coffin. The body of Aba Abdullah was desecrated under the horses. Ummul Baneen begins to cry, Wa Baylah, Wa Hussaina.